Hello everybody, my name is Brandon. Welcome back to Cinefessions, where we talk all things media. So I am back today with part 3 of my disc replay buy 2 get 8 free haul. So if you haven't watched the first 2 parts, basically since about November of last year, Disc Replay has been having buy 2 get 8 free sales on their DVDs relatively often. There's one store, in fact, that has just been having it continuously for the past couple of months. I actually just got noticed today that they stopped doing that, but they've been having it a lot. And so I have been hitting up these disc replays whenever I can in order to take advantage of these buy 2 get 8 free sales, because that's a ridiculously good price. It comes out to like 65 cents a movie or something like that. Like, it's super cheap. And so I have 10 more DVDs that I picked up relatively recently. Like I said, this has been going on for quite a while now, but I've just been stacking them up over there. I have 3 more piles at this point ready to go. So this is part 3 of what will likely be 6 parts, but who knows? I might combine some as we go on here. But anyway, I am really excited to share with you guys this next stack of 10, and hopefully you are excited to see what I picked up as well. If so, please give this video a like down below. That engagement really does help me out. But with that said, let's not waste any more time at all. Let's dive right into part 3 of my disc replay buy 2 get 8 free haul. The first one I grabbed is actually part of a franchise that I've been collecting for a few months now, just trying to get all of them in the collection as cheap as possible. So whenever I see them cheap, I grab it. This is Just Stone, Death in Paradise with Tom Selleck. So I've heard a lot of great things about this. You guys always comment that these are actually really good movies. The whole series is supposed to be a lot of fun. So I just keep picking them up because why wouldn't I? There are 8 movies, 10 movies in this series. I don't remember exactly, and I don't know where this one fits in, but it's somewhere along this franchise here, so I wanted to grab it. Basically, this is like Selleck, I think, is playing like a police chief, and he's trying to solve a murder in each of these movies, I believe. So kind of like it feels like a Lifetime made-for-TV movie, but they're supposed to be better than that, so I'm hoping, like, once I get around to this, I'll actually enjoy them. So Just Stone, Death in Paradise is the first one I ended up grabbing with Tom Selleck. Next up is actually a 4-pack of fantasy adventure films, and the only problem with this is that they're all on one DVD, so that always stinks, but that's all right. We have 4 fantasy films: Merlin and the War of the Dragons, Midnight Chronicles, The Beastmaster, and Dragon Quest. And the reason I picked this up, because like these probably aren't going to be the best quality, but Merlin and the War of the Dragons and Dragon Quest are both Asylum films, so I can add this to my Asylum collection, which always makes me smile. So yeah, really looking forward to checking these out. 2 more movies that I can add anytime I want to do like an Asylum feature again here on the channel, so definitely wanted to add this one to the collection. So 4 movies for the price of 1 is really, really good. So Merlin and the War of the Dragons, Midnight Chronicles, The Beastmaster, and Dragon Quest. 2 of the 4 are Asylum films, which just always makes me happy. The next 2 are actually both sequels, but the first one here is the 4th movie in the franchise, if I'm not mistaken. This is Species: The Awakening. So I do have the first 3 in the collection already, so this was the only one I needed to complete my Species collection, and I have not seen these yet, so I'm really looking forward to checking them all out now that I do have the complete series. I do have them all on DVD, but I know that the first 3, I think, are available through Scream Factory. I'm not entirely sure. I know at least the first 2, but I think it's a trilogy that they have on Blu-ray. But I'll stick with the DVDs, and if I love them, then I can upgrade. If they're easy to find, which frankly, they might be out of print by now, I have no idea. But yeah, the 4th movie in the Species franchise, The Awakening. Next up is a sequel to a movie that I think is pretty underrated. This is The Butterfly Effect 2. So I really like The Butterfly Effect. I've not seen it in many years, but I really enjoyed it the first time I saw it. And I actually really like The Butterfly Effect 2, at least from what I remember. It has been, man, probably 10 plus years since I've seen it, but I really remember enjoying it, and so I didn't have it in the collection anymore, so I wanted to add it. And frankly, I don't know if I ever owned it. I may have just watched it, rented it through Netflix at the time. I have no idea, but yeah, so I wanted to add to the sequel because in my inherited movie collection I finally added the original again. So I figured, you know what, it's here, let's grab it. The Butterfly Effect 2. like I said, I remember enjoying it, so I'm really excited to go back and revisit these. And I want to even say there might be a third one in this series, but that could be wrong. I might be misremembering, but I remember there being a third for some reason right now. So I'll correct myself if I'm wrong. But yeah, I now have at least the first two. Maybe it's the full series. I don't remember. But yeah, really excited to revisit this one in the near future. The Butterfly Effect 2. This is a really cool one because it's in the Miramax/Dimension Collectors series. So it's the big 2-disc ones. This is The Crow with Brandon Lee. So I also have like The Abyss comes in a set like this. The Others comes in a set like this. So those are the two that come to mind. But I think these are just cool releases to have. And so I wanted to grab this version of it specifically. And I was very happy that they had it. So The Crow is a movie that I have been meaning to see for the longest time. The only like connection I have with this film is that I know Sting's black and white Sting was based on like an idea from The Crow that what's his name, Scott Hall gave to him, but I've never actually seen the film that it was based off of, so I really need to correct that. Heard great things about this. I'm just like very excited to get around to checking this one out. So I finally have The Crow in the collection. Cannot wait to watch it. I've been finding a lot of random Pauly Shore movies at Disc Replay lately, and here is another one. This is In the Army Now, and I know I've seen this many, many years ago, but I don't really remember it at all. I just remember laughing through it, and I really like Pauly Shore, or I like, at least I used to like Pauly Shore. I've not seen anything from him in a while, but there are some that I would really like to add to the collection, and this was one of them. So yeah, really excited to revisit this one. I believe he's joining In the Army, but it's Pauly Shore, so that's probably not a good combination. So yeah, really looking forward to revisiting this one and seeing if it is as funny as I remember it being. So In the Army Now with Pauly Shore. This next one is one of the few Platinum Dunes remakes that I actually haven't seen yet. This is The Hitcher. So this one was like, what, mid-2000s, I believe. Yeah, 2007 is when this one came out, it looks like. And I've wanted to see it, but I never have before. And so I figured I would grab it because it was cheap. And it's Platinum Dunes, which I really like their remakes. Like Texas Chainsaw Massacre is one of my favorite remakes of all time. And I always cite that as like the reason I will always give remakes a chance, because I love that movie so much. And so I'm hoping that this kind of follows that same over-the-top, super brutal route that the Texas Chainsaw remake did. So yeah, really looking forward to finally having this in the collection and finally watching it. The Hitcher from 2007. Here's one I remember from my family video days that I just never got around to watching. It's a comedy that looks kind of dumb, but it's Let's Be Cops. So this is basically a comedy about these two people dressing up as cops, I believe, for a Halloween party, but then things kind of go crazy from there. So that's what I remember it being, at least from like the trailers I saw, but that could be wrong. It's the ultimate buddy cop movie, except for one thing, they're not cops. Oh, so I guess they're just impersonating cops. Maybe Halloween has nothing to do with it, but whatever the case is. Looks like it might be funny. I like dumb comedies like this, generally speaking, so I'm hoping I will enjoy this one when I get around to it. So let me know if this one's any good or not. Is it worth my time? Let me know down below. I always appreciate that. So yeah, next up here is Let's Be Cops. Just a couple more left, and this is a movie that I love. I feel like everybody loves this movie, and yes, I would like to get this one on Blu-ray eventually, but for the time being, for the price, I'll stick with the DVD. This is Clue the Movie. So Clue is one of my favorite board games of all time. I am obsessed with it. It used to be like my favorite game that I would play with my sister and my grandma growing up. I just love it. And I did not see the movie until maybe just a few years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, but I loved it. It is so good. It's just hilarious. And there are a bunch of like alternate endings that you can see as well. And oh yeah, this one does have 3 different surprise endings on this one. So yeah, really looking forward to revisiting this. I've only seen it once and I loved it. So excited to have this one in the collection so I can give it a rewatch. Clue the Movie. And this is actually the last movie I grabbed. My very last one is a TV series. So last but not least is one of those rare TV series that makes it over to like the standard DVD collection where it's buy 3, get 3 normally, but obviously in this case it was buy 2, get 8. And this is Revolution, the complete first season. So this is a show that I always wanted to watch when it was new, like live or new on TV, but I never got around to it. And I've wanted to pick up the complete series for a while, but I've just never pulled the trigger. So I figured for the low price, I might as well give the first season a watch. see if it's any good or not, and then I can always just upgrade to the complete series on, I think it's on Blu-ray available as well, so I'd probably upgrade to that if I like it. But this was a short-lived series from what I remember, maybe 2 or 3 seasons, but the whole premise, I love this premise of like current day, and it just like almost turns apocalyptic. Like there's this doomsday thing that happens, and then it's how are you going to survive? And with this one, I think it's like I think it's like an EMP, right? Hits, and like they lose all power. So yeah, all technology has mysteriously blacked out. So yeah, it's this post-apocalyptic landscape, and like, yes, please. I love that setting. It's one of my favorite in all of media. So really looking forward to checking this one out to see if it's any good or not. I've not really heard much about it over the years. So yeah, that's probably why it didn't last very long, frankly. But yeah, I'm really excited to see if it's for me, or if it's, you know, I'll go like the majority and say, maybe not. So Revolution, the complete first season. And that is the last one I grabbed for this part of my buy 2 get 8 haul. All right, so there is part 3, actually 12 movies and a TV series for what, $7? Like, that's just amazing. These buy 2 get 8s are just as good as it gets when it comes to finding bargain movies. So super excited about this. And like I said, I have 3 more parts to share with you guys, which I will do over the coming weeks here. So hopefully you guys like seeing what I picked up for what, like 65 cents each. It's a ridiculous deal. Anyway, guys, let me know down in the comments below if you've seen any of these and what would you recommend. There are a lot of really cool titles here, some that I've already seen, some that I haven't, so any recommendations you guys have so I can prioritize what's the best, I always appreciate that down in the comments below. But as always, guys, if you did enjoy this video, please give it a like down below. That engagement really does help me out, and like I always say, I don't just talk movies, I talk all things media, be it books, movies, video games, graphic novels, manga. If it's media related, I'm interested in it, and if you are too, you might consider subscribing. Alright guys, so that's gonna do it for today. I just want to say thank you all so much for watching, and I want to encourage you to consume some media today. I'll catch you next time.